Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone. I'm so happy that you could join me today. And today I'm working on the Margarete Miller Collage Weekly Planner, where she has assignments every week that kind of make you expand your horizons a little bit and think outside of the box to create a collage layout using items in your stash. And again, I have been working on trying to use items that I currently have in my stash. I'm trying not to print off anything new or buy anything new. So it's been a lot of fun relooking at some of my supplies that I've forgotten about or have maybe got pushed to the back of the closet or in the bottom of a box, those kind of things to pull out and use on these weekly collage assignments. And part of this assignment, I did look ahead because I do pull my supplies, or I try to pull my supplies a couple at a time. And so last week, when I was pulling last week's, I actually pulled this week's also. And this one kind of threw me for a loop. I had to think about one of them for a little while. So the first item anyways is a child or children. And again, we're on week number 11. So the first one, a child or children, that one was pretty easy for me to come up with. The first thing I thought about was I have some Tim Holtz paper dolls, and so I pulled out some that were the kids. I also thought about, I had some photographs that I printed off for a journal a long time ago that I had used from a digital kit, and these ones came from Tsunami Rose, and I had shrunk them down to use for whatever I had been using them for, but I still had some of those left, so I also thought about those. And then I also thought about, I have a number of Reader's Digest books that I use the pages for different things or the covers. And I remembered I'd seen one that had this little boy in it, so I did pull him out. And it was a little story about a boy and a cat, I think. So I thought he was kind of cute right there. So that would work. And then I also thought about, I had a paper pad. And I don't remember the name of the paper pad, but I remembered I had this piece of paper in here thinking, what am I going to do with this piece of paper in there? And I had all these little girls on there, so I thought that was kind of cute. And so right now, for sure, I think this piece is speaking to me, so I think that's probably going to be at least maybe a background piece, if nothing else, in my layout. So the next item on the list was a cleaning product, and again, that's... in my eyes, a cleaning product is anything that you use to clean your house, clean your car, clean your bathroom, those kind of things. And this one is the one that threw me for a loop this week. I just didn't have anything that came to me right off the bat. And then I thought, well, maybe I can look in our newspaper to see if there was some sort of ad. Because again, I'm trying not to print off anything or buy anything new for this. So I was like, well, I'll just look at the newspaper. But my husband and I, this time of year, we do heat our house, part of our house with a fireplace. And so we'd already burned our paper for the week. And so we used it to start the fire one of the days. So then I thought, well, I'll just look at some of my cleaning products and just take the label off. But that was easier said than done. A lot of them are stickers. And then when I tried to pull some of them off, they just weren't coming off. And then I did find a couple things that were in like cardboard packaging. And these are the only two things I could find that had cardboard packaging on them. So I did pull those off. So I'll have to use one of these two in my layout unless I decide to scrap it. But again, I'm trying to think outside of the box and trying to expand my horizons. So I am going to make myself use one of these two items, even though I would rather not. So either I could maybe use the title here, Swiffer, or I was thinking I could cut out the Scotch-Brite. And right now I'm probably leaning towards cutting out the Scotch-Brite just because if I decide to use this, there is kind of some green colors in here. So I'll probably end up using that one for that part of the layout. And the next one is a flower. So what's cool about this paper is it does actually have flowers on it. And then the other thing that I did was I pulled out, again, from way back when I was on the Tsunami Rose design team. I had, Daisy had some wonderful digital kits with flowers in them. And so I still have some bits and pieces left over that I had already printed. And even some of them I had even cut. So, I mean, I found this sentiment that said, "The earth laughs in flowers." There's some, like, advertising for some flowers. So I grabbed some flowers, and then as I was looking through the digitals that I had in that pile, I also came across this little sentiment. Is like a page from a book. Again, it was from one of Tsunami Rose's like ephemera pieces. And it just said, see the dog and the cat, see the boy and the girl. And I thought, well, that might actually work with this background just as another piece. Again, I'm trying to use up stuff in my stash. So I did pull that one out thinking I'll just use that as kind of an extra random piece in my background. But I do have flowers, and right now I'm not, for sure the flowers are covered on this, but I will try to pick out one of these items in here to use on the collage, just so that I can continue to work on using up part of my stash. So that's a flower. The next one is a barcode, and everything has a barcode. I mean, like this has a barcode on it. I also pulled out, earlier I had used this image right here. I have two of these. They're like a big business card for a company that we get some of our petrified wood from. And I'd used this in one of the layouts earlier. So there is this kind of interesting barcode here with a little dinosaur on it. That's kind of cool. And then I also have some Tim Holtz packaging that has a barcode on it. So I'll either probably most likely use this barcode or the one on this Scotch-Brite one, I think. And then the next item on here was handwriting. And so, of course, I could just handwrite it. Also, it's interesting right here. There's the handwriting on the actual background page. So if some of that shows through. And then I also have a rubber stamp of some handwriting. And this is like one of my all-time favorite rubber stamps. You can see it. I use it a lot. It doesn't even come clean anymore. It gets used so much. So I'll probably try to use this somehow in the background somewhere on a piece of scrap paper. And then the last thing was the bonus is something that works as a title for the whole collage. And so I did pull out, again, a couple more stamps and thought, well, any of these would probably work. This one says Imagine. So, and this one says Dream. And this one says Serendipity. Right now I'm leaning towards the Serendipity one. I think that would be really cute. So that's the one I'm kind of leaning towards. And so we can start laying a couple things out, and then I'll need to do some rubber stamping. But again, I think I want to use this paper as part of my background right here. So I'll probably maybe end up tearing this one, I think, possibly. Or I need to cut it down for sure. And I still think this would be cute to use this little sentiment with the kids on it. So I have to decide, like, if I want to use another photo or if I want to try and cut this little boy out. Maybe I'll just do that real quick and just see what he looks like. You know, I could lay, and if I edged him out in some colors, that would maybe work too. Or this little girl too. Or any of the paper dolls would look really cute on here too. But maybe for the moment, I'll just... one of these two possibly. I think I'll skip the paper dolls on this one. So the cleaning product, again, I'm going to cut this title out, I think. So I'll cut that out better, but that's just for now, just to give me some idea where I might want it. So a flower. Again, there's flowers on there, but I could maybe use something on one of these. So let's just lay that there for now. There's not really much difference in that one. I could just cut off part of this flower too. But okay, we'll just leave that there for now. So a flower, a barcode. And I'll cut these out better later. So again, so I don't know if there's something like I can do up there with those. I don't know. But barcode, handwriting. I'll find some sort of scrapbooking paper that matches, and I'll stamp this just for another background piece. So maybe I'll try and stamp it and find a piece that maybe I would put back here, up here maybe. Or I could maybe lay it underneath him too, the little boy. So I'm not quite sure on these two little pieces yet, but so handwriting and bonus, something that works for the title. Again, maybe I would stamp it on something and put this somewhere on the bottom of the layout. So I am going to go ahead, I think, and I'm going to cut these down a little bit better. I'm going to stamp this and come back and kind of reconfigure the layout with you guys before I glue it down. And so that's where I'm at the moment, and I will be right back shortly. Okay, I did finish cutting out things a little bit better and stamping a couple of things. And then I also found that scrapbooking paper pad in case somebody was interested. Those little girls came from this Crate Paper Pretty Party paper pad, and I got this from my friend Shonda a while ago. So that's where that paper came with the children on it, if anybody was wondering. And so I'll make sure I'm in camera here. So I stamped this handwriting for that one prompt, and I was thinking then this is the other part of that paper, so I might put that down here just to ground, if I use this little boy, just to ground him a little bit better and make him stand out. So I could just use that whole sheet then. And I tore this up and inked the edges a little bit, and it looks like I forgot a couple of them here on the side, so I'll do that real quick. I guess I just inked the edges that I tore. But I'm still thinking somehow I like this up in this corner. And then maybe put the handwriting up in that corner. I still kind of like that little boy. So for right now, I'm just going to set him right there somehow. Don't quite know. And I like this just as an extra layering piece. It just kind of helps a little bit, I think. So I still want to use that somehow. And let's see, the cleaning product. Again, this one's throwing me for a loop, but I did cut it down a little bit and decided I like this one better than that Swiffer packaging that I had. And the other thought I had, and I just spent the last probably half hour trying to see if I had, you know, some of those digitals that we get, the vintage digitals that sometimes there might be some sort of advertising on them. And I went through all my leftover bits and pieces from past journals that I created to see if I had any digitals that might have some sort of vintage advertising for a cleaning product. And I'm sure I must have one because I have so many digitals, but nothing that was currently printed. And again, I'm trying to use stuff from my own stash that I don't have to reprint or rebuy. So I'm going to have to definitely just use this Scotch-Brite. And I could take it off and just skip it, but I want to try and think outside the box. So I'm going to use it. And, you know, in my head, I thought, you know, I could put it up here somewhere or even down in the corner next to him. But in the end, I thought maybe up in that corner. And so I still, and then the next one, the flower, I do still have the flowers on this background paper. And I also have this rose and some other ones that I could think about using. I'll come back to that one. The barcode is the next one. And again, I could put this down here, but I was just thinking maybe I'll just tuck it up there just to do a little cluster up there. The handwriting is, which is on that background piece. The bonus is something that works for the title. And so I did stamp out that word imagine. And then I also had this one serendipity. I'm still leaning towards serendipity. And so I think I want to put it here, I think. And the only other thing I thought about, and I just grabbed this again before I started recording, is I grabbed a piece of red cardstock, just thinking that that might, since there's some red in here, that might match a little bit better if I glue that down first and then glue it on here, just to make it stand out just slightly. And then if I wanted to add another flower, I could do that. Again, there's flowers back here, but I'm thinking maybe I could tuck, originally I thought I might put it over here or down here somehow, but I'm thinking maybe I can just tuck it underneath the boy right here. for another added flower element or something. Maybe I'll go like that. Maybe I'll go do it that way. And then again, I still have this title that I could put down here, or I could put it up in the corner up here too. So I'm going to go ahead and glue all these things down. I'll glue this to the cardstock. And then after I'm done doing that, I'll make a decision if I end up gluing this down here in the corner or maybe up on the top somewhere. And so I'll be back after I get all of this stuff glued to show you almost the finished layout, and we can decide together where this one goes. Okay, so I have gone ahead and glued all of these down right here, and the only thing I have left to glue down is the title. And I've kind of played with it in a few different spots. I like it. I do like it down in this corner. I think it looks good down there. And I also think it looks good up in that corner. And I also think it looks good up in this corner. So I don't think I can really go wrong no matter where I decide to glue it. I don't think I can. It looks good, I think, in all the spots. I'm sure that everybody's has their own opinions that are watching right now. And you're probably shouting at me like, oh, I like it there, or I liked it in the previous spot, or I liked it at the bottom. But I guess since it's a title for the collage, maybe I'll try to put it up towards the top, maybe. And I think I'm going to leave it over maybe on this right-hand side. I think that's where I like it the best. Either it's up there or down here. But I think I'll leave it up there. So I think that's where I'm going to go ahead and glue it. And then I'm going to call this layout finished. So again, there is my finished layout. And to do a quick recap of everything, of the assignment, a child or children, I have the little boy and the little girls on this background sheet. A cleaning product, the Scotch Brite. A flower, I have the roses plus the flowers that the little girls have in the background here. A barcode. Handwriting, as you see just a little bit peeking through up there. And then the bonus was a title that works for the collage, and so I use Serendipity, and I think that kind of works for the collage. So again, I just wanted to thank everybody so much for watching today. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you back next week for week number 12.